satisfactory is done to time. Apparently, you sit down to play that game for 10 minutes and then it's 5 hours later. Anyway, I went to America and I debated Rachel Wilson, a woman, about feminism and women's rights. And the woman I was debating said that women shouldn't have any of those rights. It was kind of crazy, if I'm honest. Anyway, me, Yerba Mate Talks, You Are Mopped, and Rubiks are going to go over the video once you have all danced to my intro. You better be dancing because I'll be watching.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
The FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Earth thinks that evolution is real. Chemtrails don't exist, vaccines work. Climate change is happening, we landed on the moon. The FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Sweetie, it's not alright. Baby, it's not alright.
We're living on a disk, floating through space,
You better
with a tiny sun.
Hello, I'm here with a bunch of cunts. Cunt 1, You Are Mopped. You Are Mopped was with me in Nashville. How did you find the atmosphere there in Nashville? Or do you remember after all the alcohol?
Well, it was a little aggressive on that first night when you almost got me into a fight, homie.
Yeah, that was fun.
Luckily,
yeah.
that was.
I turned that around pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah. After that, it was a pretty friendly atmosphere.
Yeah. Apparently, do not call them retards when they say that God doesn't kill anyone. They don't appreciate that. No.
Like,
To be fair, by that point, I'd already had about 20 drinks, so that was probably not a good time to then start drinking. But no, I turned that around pretty quick, and they were. But yeah, the whole conference was pretty good. The night out in Tennessee, in Nashville, was pretty mental. You were there, right?
I didn't make it out to the bar that night on Saturday night. No.
Oh no, you missed. I mean, I think it was epic. Rubiks, was it epic? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
My boy Jimmy was passed out, as was my wife and his wife and their friend.
Oh well.
So
you should have come, man. It was pretty mental. I mean, it was an open bar. Andrew Wilson would have got a large bill, definitely. You did all the interviews.
I had to be somewhat sober.
You looked after me. My wife demanded it. You did all the interviews. You Are Mopped. Any favorite moments from the interviews?
Man, favorite moments from the interviews. I mean, it was cool towards the end on day 2 when everyone kind of knew who I was, and there was a lot of people around watching the interviews, especially my interview with Andrew and with Dr. Carrier. But yeah, they were all good, dude. I mean, I'm getting tons of positive feedback.
Yeah, I've
James
enjoyed them.
Connected me with a video editor, so I'm gonna try and step up my production quality. Yeah, it was just such an awesome weekend compared to the last DebateCon when I was just winging it.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure the link to your channel is in the description. Please check out Your Mopped channel for all the after debate interviews and stuff. Yeah, so that was awesome. Right, Yerba Mate Talks, otherwise known as the Crazy Max. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's the summer is starting. We're 23 subscribers away from the 1,000.
Wait, summer. Hold on, summer. It's winter here. You're talking like we live on some kind of globe with like different seasons.
Yes. Yeah, like we are on the underside, and it's summer.
Oh, that fucking makes sense.
I had to shave my Islamic beard because it was getting way too hot.
Yeah, no, we're having to put the extra covers on the bed because at night you turn into ice otherwise here. So you did all the after shows.
I took everything away last night from my bed.
No,
just the sheets.
You did all the after shows for the debates in DebateCon. Any of favorite moments from the debates?
Well,
Obviously
my
mine,
favorite
you know.
moment was someone who came from the live chat, came to the after show and had an epic crash out. But from the debate, I don't know if I have a favorite. I know I identified the worst debater of the whole conference. This guy called Junior.
Oh, good
Holy
lord.
cow.
Oh my god, yeah. No, he was a lovely guy to
Holy
talk
cow.
to. Really nice to talk to, but fucking hell no. My favourite moment, apart from me being on stage, was when Andrew Wilson was debating Daniel Pick a Kid Up, or whatever his name is. You know, the
Pikachu.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Poker Kid or something. I'm not sure. He thinks it's okay to have sex with 9-year-olds. I tried to watch some of that debate, but being in the same room as that disgusting human being made me wretch, so I couldn't be in there. I went back in for one point, and I heard him say, yeah, I'm Muslim, and we have sex with our cousins and have low IQ. There's no benefit in society to having a high IQ. I had to turn around and walk back out. I couldn't.
Yes.
No, just no. You know, I don't agree with anything that Andrew Wilson says in general, but he actually stormed that guy in debate. But anyone could have stormed that guy in debate because he says it's okay to have sex with 9-year-olds. So.
Yeah, no, that was Andrew. I'm sorry, Pikachu. Daniel was particularly bad because he couldn't counter the argument of the low IQ.
No, he just owned it.
Yeah,
No, he just owned it.
It's the best. Mostly
Yeah.
rah, rah, rah.
We're happy being stupid.
Cheerleading. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Basically, there was 2 people I didn't interview the whole weekend. One of them was Hakikachu, and the other was Rachel, believe it or not.
Oh, no, mate, you should have got
it-
Rachel.
Oh, Raquel.
I'd have liked to hear her thoughts.
Which is-
maybe we
this-
can arrange
you know,
for you
I
to
don't know.
like interview a post conference. I'm talking to her on X, so I think you should have an interview with her. I'm sure we could sort out a Zoom call or something.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, we can get into it. I don't want to hold you up here, but I don't know what the deal was. We had connected a little bit before the conference, like in comments on one of Jake's videos. And I've read her book. Rubiks said, bring her book, get her to sign it. Cool. I spoke to her. I shook her hand before, like on day 1. I was like, hey, after your debate with Craig tomorrow, mind if I get you for a quick interview? She said, sure. And then, I don't know, she was just very standoffish. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm not going to beg her for an interview. So I was like, I asked her twice. I'm not asking her 3 times. And it just never
Fair enough.
happened.
Oh, that's a shame, man. Right, Rubiks, you were there with me in DebateCon, at DebateCon. What was your favourite moments?
I loved playing Cards Against Humanity with Richard Carrier.
That was pretty good, yeah. Richard Carrier also knows how to drink. Goodness does he know how to drink. He was like drink for drink with me, and I drank more than I should have.
You did.
And then I appreciate he got up in the morning to support me at my debate because we've been became friends and we've been in contact afterwards, right? It was nice. So he got up, even though he was still very drunk. He watched my debate, but after the debate, I watched him leave the room very quickly, and he disappeared like for about 6 hours until his debate. He just went
Your
back to
debate
bed.
was at 7 in the morning, so
11, not too early. I couldn't have done 7, mate. I think I got home about, was it 3 or 4 Rubiks?
Yeah, about 3:30.
Yeah, it was messy. I got you drunk though on for your birthday night out, didn't I, Rubiks?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, made you do tequila
good
shots,
time.
forced you.
we've got Mike in the chat from Drunk Debunk Show.
Hey Mike, how you
missed.
doing? Yeah, you were missed at this debate con, but don't worry, guy. I'm sure we can arrange. I want to really arrange like a debunker con. I think that would just be amazing. We should all go.
Rocket Con sounds fun, and next October,
Yep.
you should just try to get on that.
Right. Now.
We got drunk with Mike on stream with my lord. Oh my, what a mistake.
Why would you do that?
Why not?
I don't know, cause it was there, and we started a stream on my channel, went over to his channel, and he was like, "I'm going to drink." I was like, I have my lord, and he had my lord too, so it's like, well, okay, let's drink my lord. I wasn't going to gift that to anyone, so
Malort is evil and should never
Poison.
be consumed by
Yes.
anyone under any circumstances whatsoever. it's actual evil, and I still taste it. How many days later is it? I genuinely still taste that shit.
It's been 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks on Friday.
Okay, right. Let me just get this out because I'm failing to do my production beforehand. As
PhD
always.
Tony in the chat.
Tony. All right, and then I want to turn on this one.
What a great weekend though, dude. I mean,
Yeah, it was amazing.
guys, it was hanging out with Pat in the chat again. Pat in the chat came out like a champ.
Yep.
Saw this engineer.
I need to ask something. What the hell happened in room 627?
I have no
Because-
idea.
I got room 637. I saw you. Made my heart stop for a second. What are you talking about?
No, something happened in room 627, and we don't know what that was. Because
Neither
there
do
was
I.
an announcement during one of the debates. Whoever is in room 627, but we didn't get any other.
Maybe
And
they're the ones that broke
story-
the elevator.
Ooh.
No, the story from what we heard from Mike, the new host on MDD, was that apparently that room got refunded. But I don't know if I want confirmation.
Not sure. I do know there
who knows?
was an incident where one of the Crucible crew, one of Andrew's crew, solicited one of the roommates for sex. And security were spending a long time looking for that person, but from my understanding, they didn't know which room he was in until he was then pointed out by that member of staff. The Crucible crew also broke the lift by jumping up and down in it whilst they were drunk.
Is that why it was? That's why it was off on day 2. It was out of
Yes.
service.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because your side was like all like 5 of us,
Yeah.
and we were all
Why
together.
would this not show the right
at night.
one? Right, okay. Bear with me while I'm nerdy's got this figured out. My brain is turned off for a minute. Right, okay. So, no, I'm not showing the right thing to the audience now. What am I doing here? Right, so this one,
Hey, big fish.
4.
What else we got?
Right, so this one needs to be.
We've got some peeps. So everyone, hello there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, just
Did
reading
it.
over the chat. What's up, everyone?
And
Hey,
then I shared to you
Pikachu.
guys.
I don't think that's how. All right, I think it's Hakikachu, but we
Who
can call him
cares?
Pikachu.
He's a pedophile.
It's Pikachu. Like
It's Poker Kid.
who calls him anything other than that?
Good, humble Christian boys.
And Craig debated Raquel, just so all of you know it. It's Raquel Wilson.
Raquel.
Raquel. Have
Dude,
to
I mean,
roll it.
like my boy Jimmy pointed out, like, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows what went down with Emaru at TwitchCon, but yeah, Rachel had a bodyguard. You probably didn't know this if you weren't there. You wouldn't know this if you were there, but Rachel had a bodyguard with her the entire time.
I mean, it was
Not
pretty
that I'm
obvious
trying to
that she had a
blame her.
bodyguard. He was 9 foot tall.
Yeah, he was super tall. Okay. I'm not gonna give her too much shit for that, but
I am like who?
go for it.
Who?
Well,
What?
to be fair,
Why? No.
right, I'll tell you why.
No one
because
likes you.
because when me and her were talking on X beforehand, having a bit of banter, in the thread, she got several death threats, basically saying, "I'm going to come to DebateCon, and you're going to regret seeing me." So James had to pay for security, otherwise her and Andrew wouldn't have turned up.
Right.
Right,
So,
no, I understand, but it seems like she had her own bodyguard, right?
she did.
That's what I was laughing at.
So there was armed security to get into our section of the hotel,
yeah,
and then she was never without her own personal bodyguard.
no, absolutely not.
I get,
Nurkill, who's
she
been a
was
member
like-
for 33 months, says, "Evening, Craig. Hope you're well this evening. I'm well, and these fine folks are well as well. We are going to go through the Rachel Wilson debate. And in the chat, we got Nate, the lawyer. Goodness me, big star in the house for 1999. FTFE is my biggest guilty pleasure. You killed it. I hope I didn't murder anyone, but yes, I did absolutely murder Rachel Wilson in debate. I'm going to say it here, but I think I stormed that debate. My philosophical arguments still need some tightening up, but I I killed it. I'm calling it now.
Bro, you did kill it. I have my criticisms. I'm gonna hold them for that part of the debate. But yeah.
Yeah, please.
mean,
I
in
want your
general-
criticisms, right? This is
Yeah.
the only way I'm going to get better. And I think everyone knows this about me is I do not mind being told you're wrong, or you could do that better, or you're just a bit of a cunt. You know.
Well, I hope my volume's not too loud. Let me know if it
No,
is.
you
Chat.
sound good.
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
everyone, we're going to get into it. Just
Yeah.
want to say before we do, make sure you are subscribed and you like the stream. And the best way to help the channel is by sharing the stream on all your social medias and stuff. It has been working. I've got a few notes, maybe lawsuits. So apparently the best way to share my channel is to just grab a bit of scrap paper, write the URL of this stream on there, tape it to a brick or a bowling ball, and just lob it through the nearest window. It seems to bring people to my channel. They're not generally very happy, but a view's a view, right?
There's my paper. Working on that now.
If there is women doing this job, then that means women are
Do you guys hear it?
doing this job.
He's literally doing the meme where
Yes.
you say most women are shorter than men, and some woman goes, "But I'm 5'7" though, and I know a man that's 5'4." It's
Literally not what I'm saying.
But I would have to bulk up in order to use those.
We'll go to the gym then.
Oh
but
my, that
even then,
woman.
Craig,
Then
we-
I become a man.
You go become a man because
That woman, like, lady, have you never heard of a tractor?
She said that if she goes to the gym, she becomes a man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Nate the Lawyer 1999 says this was by far your best performance, period. I appreciate it, mate. And the super chats are really, really, really appreciated because you know, it's been a harsh month for the channel because of mental health issues, being away for America and everything. So, you know, massive thanks for the super chats. And if you give me enough super chats, then maybe me and your mock to actually do that push-up competition that we were supposed to do.
You sure you want it? You sure? You sure?
I did just do a chest and arms day, so I'm at a disadvantage, but I'll still do it. All right, let's set a super chat goal
a
then.
little bit too hungover on
Yeah,
Monday to do
yeah.
it.
I was thinking about doing it, but then I also thought, you know, I'd probably just die.
Yeah, I didn't want to give myself a heart attack, so.
Apparently, we were frozen. Our cameras are frozen.
Your cameras are frozen. Right. Bear with me.
you go to the gym. Most men are pretty.
I like how James
they are.
is both the security and the moderator.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, someone rushes the stage, James can just hold
Yeah.
them and choke
He's
them.
got it.
Why is this not changing? Oh, I'm sorry. Bear with me. I don't know. I think I've broken. Oh, right. Okay, I know why.
Where are we starting from the beginning? I imagine.
Yes.
All right.
I tell you, what I just need to do is. Sorry.
Grab some water.
Yeah.
Excuse Craig, he's new at this.
Yeah, I've not done this streaming thing before.
I mean, you know, hey, she's not a flat earther, so it is a step up in debate. It is a step up in
Yeah.
debate.
She may not be a
difficulty.
flat earther, but she makes a comment that is very moon landing denier adjacent.
Yes, there's a few
I
of
was
them, to be
like-
fair.
Moon
was
landing
like,
denier
wait, what?
adjacent. That's good.
What?
There we go,
Wait,
that works.
Are you saying that we didn't go to the moon? Like, what the hell are you talking about, lady?
Then
We got IC Spin in the chat. RageBot. What's up? Beep boop.
Let me. If you haven't subscribed to Shadow Amate Talks, like, what are you doing? We're 23 away, like 2-3 away from.
So do you guys see
1,000
it?
subs, so let's freaking go. Yes.
Right. They see it, and you guys are on the screen. Let's go.
Stupid, and we'd be dead in a few weeks about the women.
Wow.
Come on, every
Okay.
husband here knows for a fact that their wife has kept them alive, and you can't argue with me.
I didn't know I was debating like the final boss of Simps today, but here we are. Let me educate you again, debate coach.
Knowing
room
for a
full
f-
of Rachel Sims, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
room full of single Rachel Simps. Let's
Yeah.
be clear. They were all single men, right?
Incels.
Yeah. And
Basil and I were watching and Basil was keeping track of the amount of people that went up to ask questions who had ever touched a woman.
Yeah.
And I was laughing my ass off during the whole thing.
There were, I mean, look, there were a handful of cool people that I spoke with throughout the weekend. But yeah, the amount of simping for Rachel was out of control.
Hardcore, yeah. Like, she's calling me a simp, where I'm simply pointing out that I've been married for nearly 20 years. I know for a fact that me and every other husband in the world would not be alive, or, we would be seriously injured, or our lives would not be what they were without the women behind us. If you've got a good wife,
be
then
an alcoholic in the gutter.
I don't know what she's dragged me out of mental health down spirals countless times. I don't know what I'd be without my wife, and I know for a fact that there are lots of things that women and men aren't equal in, but we're two sides of a coin, but we're equally as important to that coin.
I'd be a rich alcoholic, though.
Maybe, yeah.
yeah. I'd have a lot more money, but I definitely would.
Well, we've been spending more on alcohol, so.
True. Yeah.
Got Dick Wayne in the chat. What's up, hate groupies? Hating on anyone special tonight? Or just unusual name call people who don't hold different beliefs? Dick Wayne, we hate stupidity. And you, specifically, just to be clear.
Attack. An ad hominem attack is when you call names but you don't have an argument.
We're gonna go to the next
but I had arguments, so that's an insult, not an ad hominem.
We're gonna go to the next one.
That woman on screen there is lady in the chat, Strange Mentality Paper YouTube, who is a debate coach. I went up there to critique Rachel, and it greatly triggered Rachel.
Main First Project has sponsored DebateCon's Leave is first half.
Oh boy.
So it's about 2.5, 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
That sponsorship is so weird. Like the guy is like, yeah, we're fighting the communists. Like, you don't have communists in America. Just shut up
I know.
and eat some salad.
It's very, very, very clear that modern day debates has become very right wing just from their sponsors for these things.
Yep.
Also introducing Craig.
Nice pause. That's me getting right in front of the camera.
Earth.
Is it bad that I knew it started 2.5, 3 minutes in? Because I've seen this so many times already.
I know.
Craig, also known as Fight the Flat Earth, is an Englishman living in Scotland with 2 degrees and a YouTube career built on dismantling bad arguments, making this debate with Rachel basically a professional spa day for his brain. Known for, you can tell they make me read both of these. They say, known for sharp humor, even sharper logic, and
who wrote this, Craig?
Good at push-ups.
I did. I wrote this.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, listen.
They make me read both of these. They say, known for sharp humor, even sharper logic, and being annoyingly good at push-ups. He's here to show that feminism isn't the apocalypse and that evidence still beats vibes. Please join me in welcoming Craig.
Yeah, no. That's just when you Google, that's what you get, a blurb. I guess it's AI makes that up about me. I don't know.
If you search FTFE, you come up in Google AI.
Yeah, I've checked that in several different AIs. What does the abbreviation FTFE mean? And they all mention me. So I guess AI knows who I am, which I think is a scary thing. Shit, the robots know where I am.
Shit, dude. Before, I didn't know every debater before heading to Nashville, and I asked ChatGPT, can you give me a quick bio on all the debaters? And fucking your bio, I wanted to text it to you.
Well, read it out now.
It's upstairs. Oh, man, where is it? Hold on. All right, continue on. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
Craig, did you read her book?
Yes, I did, and it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the process of reading it now. Like, oh my.
Do you have my annotated copy of it with all my notes? I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's worth it. Okay, right. Just setting up a super chat goal there. Now, if we reach the super chat goal, me versus you are mopped. We'll be doing a live push-up competition. Just whoever can do the most in a row. to the military Royal Marine timing.
To have you here.
Going down. Navy vet said
We were going to
Arwen would
start-
be a rock star at the bacon.
Started off with Rachel's opening statement. The timer is set for you, Rachel, for 15 minutes.
All right. So, thanks for being here, everybody. We're talking about feminism today. And
I think James mucked up there. I think he tried to give Rachel a second opening.
if it's good for society. So most people believe that feminism became this dominant political force that it is today due to oppression and abuse by the patriarchy. That it was a grassroots idea whose time had come. Women looked around them and they were like, oh no, we're oppressed. We should march and stuff until we can vote and things will get better. Not exactly how it went down. So surely if they achieved feminism, right, this would give them a better future, make them more safe, because most people believe that men are the primary threat to women's safety and security.
Do we, though? Do we all think that men are the primary threat to women? Or is there a lot of... I mean, I'm not denying that men can be an issue to women, but are men really the primary threat to women? What do you guys think?
No, in my opinion, it's the minimization of feminine violence, or like I'm blanking on the word, but gender violence against women, and this idea of women not being able to own property, like all of that is the danger, and that's what feminism actually changed.
Yeah,
or if you live in Alaska, it's definitely grizzly bears, but that's not here nor there.
See, feminism didn't just like give women rights. Feminism changed the way that people think about what women can do and you know what we should do. Men are, I think, by nature now naturally more, you know, asking for permission to touch and look and stuff, and not out of like, you know, chivalry, but out of a sense of, well, that's a woman and she deserves respect. That the kind of attitude in general, you know, you don't just dismiss a woman because she's a woman. It's not just the fact that there's rights and you know, laws that have changed. It's, I think, the attitude of society has changed due to feminism.
The church still has this position. There's minimal Christian denominations in which women can be priests or important parts of the church. They can be nuns, but that's just relegating them to a minor position. They can't do anything more than that.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, much of the violence against women are perpetrated by men. It's the systems in society that lead to those events happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just the men. No one's denying that men, you know, there are horrible men, but I mean, there are also horrible women. And you know, anyway, Nick Nick N6241 for $2 says, without Rachel, who would open jars for Andrew?
Oh, that's good.
I wish I'd been, you know, taking a couple of jars with me. Probing Time member for 55 months says, holy crap, apparently I've been a member here for just a little while. Guys, if you're a member, make sure to use your member chat. And remember, there is a super chat goal going, and if we get that, me and Yora Mott will do a push-up competition.
Almost everyone in modern society believes that abusive marriages and oppression of women by the patriarchy was a fact of life, which made women miserable for all of history until about 100 years ago. But did you know that women didn't want liberation from the men in their lives? Most people don't know.
What?
No, evidence, please.
Yeah.
And it's such a gigantic straw man, because it's not that women wanted liberation from the men in their lives. What women wanted was autonomy, to be able to decide, number one, which, you know, divorce and all of that. Because for the longest time, women went from being property of their father to property of their husband. And that's what feminism changed.
Yeah.
And it's still like that in many parts of the world, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Rubiks. How are you doing this? Says for $5,
jowls
Craig's
make
known for
her-
being awesome. Rachel's known for being Andrew's wife. That's it.
Big Fish told me that we need a like counter, so.
Am I wrong?
No, we can't have a lie counter. The screen isn't big enough to fit the lies that she says during her opening.
Know this.
But
Oh,
am I
that's
wrong
nice.
about that? The
No.
only reason why she's known irrelevant is because of who her husband is.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely, 100%.
I
He's
have my
part of
previous
their brand.
counter from my debate with Dick. I beat him 5-0.
It's not hard to beat Dick.
I
Wait.
know, but I was
Who's
drunk.
Wasn't that what
Who's
Flatsoid
Dick?
was crying about? Beating Dick?
Yes, that's exactly what he was crying about.
I haven't seen that yet. I've been away from the Flat Earth scene, so I've been very busy and playing Satisfactory. So, Flatsoid, let me be clear here. He did a stream where he told everyone that he masturbated and then he cried about it.
Well, he didn't actually say it, but out of all the people that have mentioned it, everyone understood the exact same thing. That he said that he had some whatever it means, problems with porn in the past, and that he confessed to his wife he was okay, and then he said he did something, and the guilt was so much that he thought about, ending it all, and also had to confess to his wife. So,
Damn, that must have been a good
wank.
wank.
What are you supposed to understand? Like, it was a tremendous wank, and he felt super guilty because he had to, I guess, clean a lot or something.
Maybe, yeah. That's the normal feeling, right? You get a bit horny, you want to release it, you have a wank, and then you feel guilt and disgust at yourself for 20 minutes, then you forget and have a
cry on
sandwich.
the internet, yes.
No, that bit I don't remember doing.
Just immediately go back to whatever unrelated YouTube video you were watching moments before.
And honestly, I don't know what I don't know. In a healthy couple, like what would be the problem of I rubbed one out, like, okay,
Yeah.
that would be at least here. Maybe it's because we're all filthy degenerates. But,
I mean, I'm certain that my wife's not going to be pissed off if I masturbate. Who the fuck cares, you know?
right?
As long as she doesn't know what you were thinking about.
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day. Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold
Sorry,
day.
Emma.
No, anyway. DCR says for $2, good to have you back on live streaming. Thank you, my friend. It's great to be back. RachBot, who's been a member for 71 months, says, I use mine to say you're awesome. I've dropped 15 kilograms due to your inspiration. I'm glad that I could help, my friend. Brenda Creates for $2 says that Flatsoid threatened to unalive himself. That he was that guilty about spanking his monkey. Jesus Christ. Rosie for $2 says, as long as Flatsoid isn't spanking monkey, well, apparently he is, and that's a problem. I think we need to have an intervention with him.
And then the guilt was so much that he heard the word of God. I don't know if you ever had a wank that good, but
the problem is that
seems...
he left the blinds open, and it wasn't the word of God. It was someone outside screaming, "Oh my God!"
I feel bad. But sorry, it's all right, bro.
It's all right. It's all right, bro.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean,
It's okay,
yeah.
man.
Don't.
No,
worry
the
about
reason why I kind of did a video talking about it was because I found one of his posts on a Discord. I mocked him a little bit, and he should have taken the L and laughed about it and was like, yeah, da. But he tried to clap back at me with like Voldemort stuff, and I was like, wait, how am I wrong in that? And he never answered the question. So it's like, oh, you want to play dirty? Let's go.
Yeah. All right. RateBop $2 says, and here's some dollar reduce. Thank you very much, my tiny AI. Pivot Croy for €6 says, Rachel is the fundy token trophy wife that's so indoctrinated she doesn't mind ruining the autonomy of other women. Yeah, I know. I don't think she believes anything she says, personally. And Sarah Jones for $2, is he just denying being a wanker, saying it was once? I know, right, let's get on with the stupid.
Opposition to women voting came from women themselves. These people were called anti-suffragettes, and they had much larger membership ranks than did the suffragettes themselves. It was far...
Straight up lie.
Why did it... Yeah.
Straight
Why
up
did
lie.
it fail?
The one that she brings up in Massachusetts was the one that was most popular as well, with the biggest numbers and the biggest support against suffrage.
Yeah, no, it's just completely wrong. Oh my God, I've been writing a script for this. Oh my God.
Are more popular. And these women who were in these anti-suffrage groups were not your average women who demanded feminism. I find their reasoning to be prescient and compelling, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they believed right now. This is also why I think that this part of history has been obscured and most of you have never heard of it, because...
Well, anyone that's looked into feminism has heard of it. Oh, well, she's not like completely lying. There's sprinkles of truth in there. There was anti-suffrage groups. There were women against feminism and women's rights. However, when you look deeper into it, a lot of those groups were run by women whose husbands told them to run those groups.
And the thing is, she also says look at historical context, ignoring that context that you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Stockholm syndrome of women like her who are super indoctrinated into this type of thinking, who want to perpetuate that, like basically go back to the past.
Yeah.
But it's such a, and there's a reason why that movement didn't win. It's because the other movement had a lot more strength in both men and women.
Yeah. But no, it's just a straight up lie. The things that she's saying. There's sprinkles of truth, but you know.
These women had some pretty good reasons, I think. So, in fact, when the option to add women's suffrage to the ballot was put forth in the referendums in multiple states, the measure was so unpopular with women that pro-suffrage groups actually moved to take that option off the ballot. That's right, a handful of feminists fighting for women's rights actually didn't want women to vote on whether or not they could vote. But don't believe me. Believe Susan B.
Well, okay, so when you look into that, what they did, so the original thing that was going into law that you're going to add it to the ballot was have some rights, but basically not all the ones you want. And the women were like, no, we don't want that. We're not settling for a little bit. We want all of our rights. So yeah, they refused to they said we don't want that on the ballot because that's not what we want. It's not because they didn't want women to vote or anything. They just didn't like the way that it was put on the ballot because it wasn't representing their actual wishes. Do you see what I mean about the sprinkles of truth that she's putting in?
Mm-hmm. Anthony, who said, but the petitioners of suffrage are in the minority. There are many reasons for this, and one of them, paradoxical as it may seem, is because so much has already been gained.
You are mocked. You're saying that you hate that she's reading off her phone. I was reading off of my phone, but I just left my phone on the thing in front of me rather than kind of like holding it right up to my face like that.
Oh, wait. Does she not wear her reading glasses because they look bad? Oh, isn't that cute?
I mean, look, if you're reading off your phone too, then you're not immune to criticism. I'll criticize you as well.
Okay.
Woman in general now finds her needs very well supplied. If she wants to work, she has all occupations to choose from. If she desires an education, the schools and colleges are freely opened to her. If she wishes to address the public by pen or by voice, the people hear her gladly. The laws have been largely modified in her favor, and where they might press, they are seldom enforced. She may accumulate and control property, she may set up her own domestic establishment, and come and go at will. Susan B. Anthony made this statement in her speech, The Status of Woman, Past, Present, and Future, which she delivered at the National Association for Women's Suffrage.
Thoughts, Rubiks?
Women couldn't own their own property, could be denied their own property until 1970s.
Yeah. Now, no one's denying that women could have property
But
if
they
a
could
man's
be denied based off of their gender.
A man.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go on. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me in a minute.
Women absolutely could have property, but because the man said so. Not just. Yes. There wasn't about rights, and they probably didn't manage their own money and stuff. It was maybe they were just a figurehead. Women didn't really own anything back then.
It came back to me, by the way.
Go on then.
She says, women could be on stage, but who took them seriously?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point earlier about its attitudes that have changed as well.
In Washington, D.C. in 1902. So in 1902, women already said, we kind of have everything we want. We kind of have it made. We don't really feel like we need this feminism stuff. In fact, we think that'll make things worse for us. So this, along with the rest of the historical record, kind of debunks this commonly held belief that women had no freedom to do anything prior to 1902. In 1914, the Nebraska Association Opposed to Women's Suffrage group published a pamphlet in response to a ballot initiative petition campaign proposed by the Nebraska Women's Suffrage Group. They accurately predicted that
This is
pushing women
miserable.
into
Stop
the
bringing up your
political sphere
phone, Rachel.
And the women's
Jesus.
liberation movement in general.
Please don't make it obvious.
Oh
How-
my God.
How should she
Glance
be
at
reading?
the audience occasionally.
Yeah. I tried to do that. I tried to look at the audience and stuff.
Would cause the breakdown of the family, division in marriages, and a lack of effort and focus on children and community, which had always been the main work of women up until this point. They also correctly pointed out that women enjoyed greater protection and privilege under patriarchy than was afforded to
Oh
the
my
liberated
God.
women.
Oh my.
They believe
Women afforded protection under patriarchy. It was literally because they didn't have the ability to defend themselves, because they weren't allowed to learn martial arts or have weapons or, fight back. A lot of
In
that.
the rare cases where they were granted exceptions was, for example, if they were married to some very wealthy man and they
Because I do.
had like no other family and so on.
Yeah.
So there were exceptions, but the problem is that she's citing the exceptions as the rule. And I'm glancing through her book. It has pictures. Lovely.
Her book, book is the exceptions. Watch Mike says the quote isn't even real from Susan B. Anthony. Are you sure? To be honest, during the script I'm writing, I haven't fact checked whether that quote is real. Huh. If it's not, then I'm going to rip her apart on that.
I wouldn't put it past her to take it out of context if it is real.
The same way that Whitsitt will take anything Einstein says out of context.
I think I have an out of context clip of either Flatzoid or Whitsitt saying the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Completely out of context.
Talk about
But he's
Whitsitt,
saying
right?
the Earth is round.
I want to bring up a point here, and I'd like your guys' opinion about Whitsitt and DebateCon, right? Now, James says he will have a neutral platform, and he does host some detestable people, neo-Nazis, straight up pedophiles like Daniel Pikachu. Yet Whitsitt was banned from DebateCon and from ever appearing on modern day debates. What did Whitsitt do that was so bad that it is considered work? Oh, 100%. Yeah, completely. But James won't tell me why, and Bob won't tell me why. But the fact that Whitsitt is banned, yet James will gladly host an admitted pedophile. What did Whitsitt do that is so bad?
Me.
Go on.
Domestic violence.
Well, yeah, but is that worse than admitting to having sex with a 9-year-old?
Well, I mean, if we're going to be honest, Daniel hasn't admitted that. He said that marrying children is okay,
and having sex with children is
distinction. Okay. Yeah, but on the context of marriage, right?
Yeah. He also said that
he hasn't said he did it.
He said in wartime. True, but he did say in wartime it's perfectly acceptable to take a 7-year-old enemy and use them as a sex slave.
Yes.
But saying it, all right, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but saying it's okay and actually doing it are two different things.
That is.
Maybe it's the fact that Whitsitt acted and actually, I mean, because we had, at DebateCon, one of the debates was supposed to be me versus him on the existence of God, where I was simply going to use Whitsitt as evidence there is no God.
Do you think something may have happened at the last DebateCon that led to that?
Oh, what, him crying and calling me a cripple?
And also
a chubby cripple.
It seemed like he went off and did some drugs.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. Right, anyway, back to Rachel and her derp.
Yes.
Don't forget, guys, we have a super chat goal up. If we reach that, there's 13 to go. We reach it. Me and you are mocked. We'll do a live push-up competition.
women are much more influential and effective outside direct involvement in governing. They also wisely asserted that primary role of government is to protect people and property, and that men are the only ones capable of that task. C-Force doctrine.
So women are property.
No, more importantly, you heard that she said that men are the only ones capable of protecting property. Apparently women are completely and utterly incapable of protecting property.
Well, they
Yeah,
are
but
property, apparently.
that is a remnant of when everything was decided by just brute strength. But now we have automatic rifles. So
Yeah, I mean, her
if it
entire
ever came down to like an actual war between men and women, women would have a fighting chance with the current state
women
of
would win because
affairs
they're
when
just
weapons.
women are way more stubborn than men. They just totally win out of that alone.
This might be controversial, but yeah, Max, you sound like pro Second Amendment, United States.
Yeah.
And which I am. I think without firearms, women are just vulnerable to the strongest man on the block. So I am, and to bring some balance to the conversation, Rachel is a firearms instructor, and for women, and so I do applaud her for that. I think that's a good thing.
Thank you, feminism.
I support the use of guns, but the way that we do it here, in order to get your license to own and operate firearms, you have to do a psychological test. You have to pass a psychological test and like a shooting test, an operational test.
Yeah,
that's
But
interesting.
That would never fly in the U.S.
I think that's a reasonable expectation to have a firearm, is to pass psychological tests and have trainings for gun safety and make sure you know how to shoot and you know how not to.
Yeah, and there should be
unintentionally
fucking
harm
yearly
somebody.
tests. You should be each year. You should be tested on
Agreed.
your safety and everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. We got the Matt Hooks who says it's their birthday in the chat. Everyone in the chat, I would like you to please spam happy birthday, the Matt Hooks.
Where's Matt Hooks?
The forced doctrine thing. Oh, we're going to get to that, where she just thinks basically
Oh
the
my,
only
that is
the only
so
reason women have rights is because us big muscly men we're nice enough to let them have rights. It's fucking ridiculous.
Therefore, burdening women with the task of which they are incapable is inappropriate and detrimental to women themselves. Why would we ask them to do something they're not capable of doing? These women predicted outcomes like the birth rate dropping from an average of 5 children per family in 1870, just prior to first wave feminism kicking off, to an average of just 2 children by 1940. That's a staggering drop.
Correlation
It's a monetary
does not
issue.
equal
It's a financial problem.
Yeah, but correlation does not equal causation. I mean, there's been an increase in Sega Mega Drive video games between then and now as well. Did that cause the birth rate to drop? Possibly, but maybe for a different reason.
But they always talk about this nonsense about the birth rates. And the problem is that, sure, we can care about the birth rates when we start taking care of the people that are already here. We have people that are starving, people that don't have clothes, that don't have education. Why don't we make sure that we are taking care of everyone, and then we can worry about how many kids people are having?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think necessarily having more and more people right now is a great thing.
Right.
We're struggling to deal with shit as it is. Everyone's in debt. There's not enough of stuff. You know, there's homeless people. There's poverty. There's you know. Until we get that shit sorted, maybe we should stop increasing the population.
Yeah.
Okay. So as someone who graduated with a degree in economics, I maybe we have this out at another day. But I have disagreements with you, Max, on the population and with FTFE. But this is not the time or place.
Why?
No, it's not the time or place, homie. We can talk about it.
We need an infinite growth paradigm, otherwise we're fucked. No, I think that's
And that feminism would inevitably result in the attempted.
Never mind. It's okay. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Well,
It's okay.
I didn't press anything.
It's all right to
That was weird.
disagree.
And also, on a point that women didn't want to vote, there's literally a letter from 1776 asking John Adams to consider the women and the laws you make, and asking to let the women vote. In 1776.
Okay. Fucking.
How many more super chats until I have to verse you in the push-up
We need
contest?
13 more super chats, and then you and I will do a live push-up competition.
Oh my
we've
God.
got 1 hour 35 minutes to get those 13 super chats. You been at the gym today?
Hold on. No, I haven't done a push-up since Nashville.
Ooh.
Demonization.
But that
and
means I'm
dominance of
fresh.
men.
So
Yeah.
And anti-suffragists were right to ask, who will take care of the children? If we push women into the workforce,
Mopped says 12 more. Thank you, buddy.
who raises the kids? Well, the overall number of U.S. children under 5 with mothers working outside the home in 1900 was less than 6%. By 2012, that number jumped to 58%. The anti-suffragists were also right about what the future of marriage and family would look like if we instituted these sweeping social changes. In 1900, the rate of births outside marriage was only 4%. By 2010, not quite a century after the passage of the 19th Amendment, that rate of out-of-wedlock births had reached 41%. But did feminism deliver on its promise to protect women and children from dangerous men? Let's look at the evidence. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has been tracking data on child abuse and neglect since 1978 with something called the National Incidence Study, or the NIS.
And to preface everything she's going to say here, she misquoted it all. All of the data supports that since the rise of women's rights and feminism, domestic violence against women has actually reduced. The amount of reporting, however, has increased because women are empowered to report the things that happen.
Yeah. And you can't, there's nothing to compare it to because until we started keeping track of those things, it slipped under the rug. When the dude took his wife to the hospital because he broke her cheekbone from a punch, that got swept. Oh no, she fell, right? That doesn't fly anymore.
No.
So even if she was quoting the numbers like exactly, there's nothing to compare them to.
And this
Laura,
whole
stop making super chats. I don't want to do this push-up contest.
Laura to Kiwi Burb says, as a woman, I enjoy voting and having a job. Most women do. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Never mind.
The NIS is a congressionally mandated periodic effort of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. There have been 4 of these reports. The latest one came out in 2010. This includes a breakdown of data collected nationwide on child abuse and neglect by living situation. This section of the study opens as follows. Figure 5.9 shows the incident rates of endangerment standard maltreatment for the different family structure and living arrangement subgroups of children. The rate of overall endangerment standard maltreatment for children living with 2 married biological parents is about 16 per 1,000, and this is significantly lower than the rates for children in all other circumstances, which is 52.
So what she's doing is she's saying, well, single parents seem to have more problem with child neglect. Therefore, feminism bad, right?
Yeah.
But
that's the kind of argumentation they always use.
Is feminism really the cause of single mothers?
Right. That's a fallacy I can't name, but it's definitely not.
Yeah. I mean, no one would deny that it has empowered women to leave their husbands or partners if they want to. And that could mean that there is, single mothers because of that. But she's basically saying that the rise of single mothers is directly because of feminism. And I think that's the case. I just think the advance of society in general, divorce has become more accepted. Is that because of feminism? I'm not sure.
I think there are misguided incentives that have led to increased single motherhood, unfortunately.
Workme says her reading is your reminder that Christian nationalism is just a captive breeding program for women and an entitlement program for men. Christian nationalism is scary. They like to drink, and I don't mind them paying for me to drink. If they're going to spend a lot of money renting out a bar, I'm going to drink.
JSS Tiger and Clarence, screw you guys.
The Matt Hooks, member for 42 months, says push-off competition. You going taps off again, Craig? Been far too long since I watched one of your lives. No, I'll keep my top on today. JSS Tiger for $10 says, please play the part where the guy called you a name. There was a guy that looked at him like, what the fuck, bro? Everyone there. We will get to that. Everyone there looked at him like that, trust me. Clarence O'Body for £5 says, super chat to stop Mopped doing push-up. That's right, isn't it? No, to stop him you need to do a lot more super chats, I'm afraid.
or
I
more
think
children
Laura
per
in the
1,000.
next comment
Kids
has
living with
the-
one parent
the
whose unmarried
crux of
partner
the
was in the house.
argument there.
Say again.
Laura, the Kiwi verb. If Rachel wants to be, has the crux of the argument with that comment. If Rachel wants to be a stay-at-home mother, good for her. Feminism gives her that option. Feminism also gave me the option to have a job. Thanks, feminism, for giving women choices. And I think that is kind of my position in most things. You legislate to allow things that are not just blatantly immoral. And then that way you give people the choice. Like, for example, you allow gay marriage. And if you don't want to marry someone of your same sex, you just don't do it.
I'm
And
glad you
that's about
highlighted
it.
that, Max. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
exactly
that's
what
about
I
it.
was thinking.
No one's forcing you to, you know?
Right. It's not mandatory.
Had the highest incident of maltreatment.
What is oh, it's me leaning on the keyboard. Fuck. Tim Davidson, $5. Occam's razor for the closest shave theoretically possible. You can leave now.
This is equivalent to more than 13 per 100 children, or more than 1 child in 8 whose single parent has a cohabitating partner in the general child population. Their risks of maltreatment is more than 8 times higher than that of children living with 2 married biological parents. And we're going to see this just repeated throughout the data, that children living with a single parent with an unmarried partner had the highest incidence of physical abuse by far, more than 10 times.
It's a red herring. The entire thing's a red herring.
Yeah,
Entire-
and I mean,
Just because it.
it
Go ahead.
doesn't show the data. When people just say, "Oh, I'm going to show data," and they just talk without showing me the data, like a screenshot and where can I find it,
Hey, Zumi.
I get very suspicious, especially with this kind of argumentation.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Can we get to the interesting part? That her opening is so goddamn boring.
The lowest rate.
She's just
So maybe this
reading off
no
her
fault
phone.
divorce stuff is not so great for kids, huh? Only 0.7 children per 1,000 children living with 2 married
Right, let's let her
biological
get
parents
through
were
it then.
sexually abused, compared to 12 per 1,000 children living with a single parent who had an unmarried partner. So that's more than 12 times. The lowest incidence of physical neglect occurred for children living with both married bio parents. The highest rate of physical neglect occurred for children living with a single parent and cohabitating partner, most commonly single mom plus boyfriend. This is over 7 times greater than kids living with both married bio parents. Same for physical abuse, same for emotional abuse, it just repeats. But perhaps the most relevant and more surprising finding was this: 68% of the maltreated children were maltreated by a female, whereas 48% were maltreated by a male, some were maltreated by both. In contrast, male perpetrators were more common for children maltreated by non-biological parents or parents' partners. So once again, single mom plus boyfriend. The statistics.
Yeah, but what she doesn't do is relate any of this to the data from beforehand because it doesn't exist.
I know. I'm trying to bite my lip, Craig, but yeah, exactly. Just to get through this.
Yeah, I know.
Is the most.
I think it's like 17 minutes when it
removing children's
starts.
biological fathers from the
Yeah,
home is the single biggest risk.
15-minute openings is a little bit too much.
Yeah, mine wasn't
Or-
15, I don't think.
No, because
Factor for abuse.
the actual debate starts at about 17 minutes. 3 of those minutes were introducing you and Rachel and the sponsor.
Well,
So,
I've got to do my open
no.
first.
Yes.
This supports my assertion that
Rosie
fathers, the
asked,
family.
if she's married. Yeah, she's married to Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, and that's her 3rd husband, I believe. But, you know, no hate. Good on her, I guess.
Patriarchs have the most interest and biggest protective effect on the lives of children. They're less likely to abuse than biological mothers, and once removed, make single mother homes an easy target for predators who are not related to the child. The second point I want you guys to understand today is that mothers are actually more
Predators. Men, women, they're both predators.
likely to abuse or
Yeah,
neglect children than fathers, by a pretty large margin. In 2021, about 211,000 children in the United States were abused by their mother, whereas 132 were abused by their father. This is consistent with these same findings we've been discussing all across the NIS data. Defenders of
So men are
feminism
evil,
reject
therefore
this data by
feminism
pointing out-
bad. Okay.
Basically,
One
yeah.
1 second there. And I mean, we would have to see what she's calling abuse by their mother, because they're very different. Men and women in that sense do different. Let's take the example of SA, right? Men go for violent SA while women do statutory, right? And that's
Yeah.
very different. So I don't know what she means by abuse by their mother. Like, she slapped them, or I don't know, send them to their room, punish them, or whatever. Like, what is the abuse that she is rallying against is a very important thing.
Yeah. Rosie is correct, and Rubiks has said this before. She's like the ultimate pick-me girl.
Yeah.
That mothers are more likely to be primary caregivers and spend the most time with the kids. But we can kind of test this hypothesis because there's a trend where men have gained far more custody and parenting time over the years, about 4.5 times more between 1968 and 2020. Given this, we would expect to see those abuse rates by fathers going up if they're spending 4.5 times more time with them. That's not what we see. It's just consistent over the last 45 years. That rate did not go up. A more likely explanation why we see a larger share of mothers abusing children.
1 second. If you're a parent and you go to court to retain the custody because you believe the other parent is unfit or whatever, if you go through the legal process of obtaining custody, why would it follow that that person that would make the abuse rates tick up? It wouldn't. Like, why would you do that whole battle? It makes no sense. That is just a trash argument.
Yeah, 100%. It's just reframing the data to fit her narrative of, well, some men are really horrible, therefore feminism didn't work. What?
Might be that women are much more prone to mental problems. In fact, we see increases in women struggling with mental health problems over recent decades, and women are about 3 times more likely than men to experience mental health problems. According to an analysis of prescription drug data, more than a quarter of American women, 26%, take a psychiatric prescription drug.
Yeah, right. I will tell you why women are more likely to have mental health problems. Do you want to know why? Because they've got to deal with us fucking asshole men.
Yeah, I mean, postpartum depression is also a big thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that contribute to
I feel like women are more likely to seek help as well for mental health issues than are men.
Yes.
Oh, I think we've got a Rachel Wilson fan in the chat because he says every time VVV, this whole stream is cope. Lol. Cope. Just laughing at her dumb arguments. No, anyway, we can't cope. Over the past 12 months, the flat earthers depleted the world's supply of copium after the final experiment. There's none left, I'm afraid. Yeah, no one can do cope anymore.
It's funny she calls you a simp for women when she's a simp for men.
100%.
Well, I mean, she calls herself blonde, so she's not in this reality that we all share.
Every time, hang out. Just hang out a bit.
Stranger Mentality Paper says, are the Wilsons young Earth creationists? I'm not entirely sure.
Yo, I asked him that. He didn't answer me.
They
So I think that's a yes.
I mean, Rim Job is, and all of these groups, they move like a school of tuna.
Are Orthodox Christians in general young Earth creationists?
So this is what I think it means. The fact that he wouldn't answer me usually means that he doesn't believe it, but he's not afraid to say otherwise because it'll alienate half his audience.
Well, yeah, that too. That could also be. But as far as I know, Jim Bob denies evolution, denies the moon landing. He's embarrassed that he's also a flat earther, but they don't answer honestly when you ask them
I
questions.
don't think Jim Bob is actually a flat earther. Jim Bob just doesn't think that gravity is a logical thing, but he accepts the shape of the Earth.
No, I asked him directly, "What's the shape of the Earth?" and his answer was round. They say no, flat or globe, and he said round again. So he's a skeevy little liar.
Well, I didn't mention it yesterday, but Sean Hibbler was at the conference. You know, the Flerfs that made the Level movie. And he was hiding who he was. He was hiding that he was a flat earther. And when I told Jim Bob there was a flat earther there, Jim Bob laughed and called flat earthers idiots.
I might ask Jim Bob. I'm sorry.
At me. Sean got so mad at me for inviting him on your show.
Yeah.
It's like, I was very polite about it. He said, "Get the fuck out of my face." And okay. And I politely left.
So what happened was, I was outside talking, and Will Duffy came out so excited. He's like, "Sean Hibbler's here! Sean Hibbler's here!" I was like, "No way!" And they went and pointed him out. I was like, "That fucking is!" And he was just sitting chatting with the Crucible crew, and we were looking, and Will went over and we're like, "Sean, is that you, Sean Hibbler?" And he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "Are you gonna ever say sorry for all the lies you told?" And like just totally confronted him. And Sean was like, "I don't even know who you are." And Will's like, "Oh, I made the final experiment." He's like, "I think I've heard of that." But of course he'd fucking heard of it. Witsit was phoning him whilst he was there.
Yeah.
JSS Tiger $5 says the Wilsons wouldn't dare be young Earth creationists because they'd have to support the claim. It's easier to argue Christian morals than God. I'm going to see if I can get Andrew into a young Earth creationism debate. That'd be fucking good.
The
Compared to just 15% of men.
He's
some
never
quick
going
stats
to take a
from the
stance on
CDC about-
anything, though.
Maybe I can force him to take a stance for a change.
So, yeah, well, so in my interview with Andrew, he was willing to divorce Christianity with Christian morals. And so is Jake, saying that you don't have to necessarily believe Christianity is true. I want to get through this intro. Ignore me.
Yes.
It's taking forever.
Risk to children who
Nearly
grow up
done.
without their dads. Children from fatherless homes represent 90% of homeless kids, 85% of kids with behavioral disorders, 70% of kids in juvenile facilities, 71% of kids in adolescent substance abuse treatment centers. So across the board, the highest risk factor for bad outcomes for kids is broken homes and not having dad around. And one of the primary objectives of early feminism and also second wave was to get rid of no-fault divorce, get rid of marriage through the church, and make it just a state certificate that you can get out of easier than your cell phone contract. But what might surprise you even more than this is that men are not more likely to be perpetrators of domestic violence. Women are. Analyzing data gathered from 11,370 respondents, researchers found that half of violent relationships were reciprocally violent, meaning both.
And that goes against feminism. How? I don't understand why she's bringing this up. Honestly, I'm just going to get through it.
Women
bad violence. In non-reciprocally violent relationships, the women were the perpetrators in more than 70% of cases. In one study, 1,100 lesbian or bisexual women in abusive lesbian relationships, researchers found that the women were more likely to have experienced violence in past relationships with women than with men. Feminism has promoted cohabitation rather than marriage for decades as a way to protect women from abusive marriages. Unfortunately, the data here is against them as well. A large study by Manning et al. Notes that cohabitation is associated with several factors that have the potential to reduce children's well-being. Cohabitation is a marker of family instability and is strongly associated with poorer outcomes for kids. Children born to cohabitating parents see their parents break up more often than children born to married parents. This is setting the stage for instability, and these kids are more likely to experience enduring deficits of psychosocial well-being. So finally, the expansion of the welfare state correlates directly to the rise in out-of-wedlock births. Welfare spending in 1950 was $50 billion. The non-marital birth rate then was 4%. By 2010, welfare spending increased 14 times to a whopping $700 billion, and this is adjusted for inflation, and the non-marital...
But to be clear, none of that can be blamed on feminism. And the links that she's making between these economic phenomenon and feminism is tenuous at best. Wow, I forgot how bad this intro was.
Birth rate then rose to 41%. The same people who got the 19th shoved through also met in secret to write the Federal Reserve Act, as well as the federal income tax and compulsory education laws right around the same time. This effectively atomizes the family and means the government is your daddy now, America. This is great for transnational corporations, governments, predators, and the predator class. These same groups are masters at propaganda and public relations. According to Professor Joe C. Miller, who did a comprehensive analysis of college textbooks about the history of women's liberation, found that
Do you think she had a note on her phone there? Do finger quotes.
Many of the important facts I noted here were intentionally removed from history textbooks over the course of decades as the field of women's studies was developed. And this was a liberal professor, guys. This wasn't some kind of right-winger. And he was shocked at this finding. But this is why almost everything people believe about the history of feminism is wrong. 100 years of propaganda throughout the culture and the institutions. If you want to know
how did you come to that conclusion with the things you just said? There was no link between all the things you said and feminism bad. There is no link. Am I missing something here, guys?
No.
No, it's just she said in one of her debates on this topic, she said that every expert on this subject would disagree with her. Then why should we even listen to you?
It's mind-blowing how bad this intro is, actually. And the amount of people are like, oh, Rachel smoked you in this debate. No, she didn't.
how we got here, there's your answer.
Thank you very much for that opening.
Holy shit. Thank goodness.
All right, I want to go around the panel and
about
give that
17
intro
minutes
a
in.
score out of 10. Okay? We're going to start with Rubiks. You were there. You have now watched it about 1,000 times because I'm forcing you to, and I'm withholding your water until you keep doing it. So let's give this intro a score out of 10, shall we?
2.
2. Okay, 2 out of 10. Bit generous. Max of Euromate Talks. This is probably the third time you've seen this intro. Let's get a score out of 10.
That's it can be 1 because that would be junior, so 3.
3. Okay. Not bad. And Watchmaker, thank you very much. I've just seen the email come through. Appreciate that. You are mopped. you've been cringing during this entire thing. In fact, you have been struggling to look at the screen, I've noticed. So let's get your thoughts out of 10. And just before the out of 10, just a quick thoughts on the intro.
Holy shit, I don't remember one thing that she said. This
Exactly.
is like holy shit. This is a negative fucking 50 intro. I have no notes from the intro because it was so much. I took notes on the entire debate. It was torture.
Yeah. I've paid. I only know the things she's saying because I've watched it several times because I'm writing the script for the response video, and it's like, oh, it's so bad. Some things keep coming to me. It's like, oh my. Anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if she brought up the voting thing or not yet, because I've seen this so many times.
We'll switch over to Craig
But
for
she's
15-minute opening.
factually incorrect that women didn't want to vote.
First off, I do want to say I'm a little angry at you coercing your husband.
You would think that the wife of Andrew Wilson would know how to give an opening.
Yeah, no, that was terrible. That was really bad.
Shit, dude.
They all have the same strategies. Then they're bad strategies.
Watch Micro says, I give it an she's an abuser apologist out of 10. Oofed.
Yeah.
Laura says, all of the examples she brought up could be attributed to other causes. Yes, they can.
Correlation is not
We'll switch
causation.
over to Craig for his 15-minute opening as well.
Hello. First off, I do want to say I'm a little angry at you coercing your husband into renting out an entire bar just to get me drunk before our debate. It's a little harsh. Conveniently, she didn't.
Okay, at least
drink
she's
very
playing
much.
along there. That's cool.
Yeah, I was right. At the beginning, I made it a thing to go hard on the comedy right at the start because I wanted to soften the audience to me. It's a hostile audience against me, right? And I felt that was a perfect opportunity because, you know, I did think about getting her smashed at the bar so that it would be easier for me, you know?
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
But the fact is, she didn't drink very much, and there's a reason for that I won't talk about, but I drank a lot. So, yeah, a lot.
I had to show some restraint at the bar.
Credit to Rachel for playing along with your joke there.
Yeah.
Right, you ready to have this mansplained to you?
This is so good.
You like that? You like that? Yeah.
I did like that. Yeah, finally. Oh my god, finally something fucking interesting. Holy shit.
Right, you ready to have this mansplained to you? Yeah, good. If I get
That was one of my jokes. You ruined it already.
if I get hungry, you can go to make me a sandwich, okay? Right.
That was great. Did you make that up on the spot?
Yeah, that last bit, I'd done the other two, but kind of the sandwich one was, I wasn't sure, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go with it, and it's boom, it worked perfectly.
Oh, good job, mate. That
and
was
then
good.
Andrew stole the joke later in the Q&A.
I'm here today to debate the lovely Rachel Wilson, who's written a book claiming feminism was basically invented by witches, CIA spies, and probably a couple of magic mushrooms along the way. If that sounds less like history and more like the rejected script for Stranger Things Season 5, then you're not wrong. Let's be clear, feminism is not an occult ritual, it's not a CIA psyop, it's definitely not a satanic plot to overthrow the nuclear family. It's the radical idea, well, radical back then.
You see how I'm looking at the audience and, you know...
Yes.
You know, yeah, I'm not glancing down at my phone quite a lot to read, but I'm, you know, trying to interact with the people in front of me.
You're not making it obvious you're reading off of a script.
Yeah. You know, I could
And this
have
is your
some...
second in-person debate, so
yeah.
I'll give you credit for that. Yeah.
Women are human beings who should have the same rights as men, and that's it. It's not hard, it's not mystical, and it's not demonic. Before feminism, women couldn't vote, own property in many places, or even have their own bank accounts without a man's permission. In the 60s, women in the UK could be fired just for getting married. In the US, marital rape wasn't fully criminalized until the mid-90s, and that's not ancient history, that's pretty much yesterday. Rachel will claim things like women didn't even want the vote. Great claim, zero evidence. The moment women could vote, they turned out in huge numbers. The historical record is full of church women, union women, activist women, mothers, teachers, nurses, ordinary women organizing for suffrage. If your argument relies on pretending they didn't exist, then your argument is dead on arrival. Should also tell you feminism makes women less happy. Also, zero evidence. No serious study shows women were happier when they had no legal autonomy, no financial independence, and no escape from abusive marriages. Even if someone digs up one cherry-picked graph from a think tank that hates women working, happiness is complicated. You can't just point to modern stress and say, yes, must be the equality that did it. That's the way astrologists think. And then there's my favorite, the forced doctrine argument that Rachel and Jim Bob and Jake all love, that men are stronger. Ooh, look at my muscles. Therefore, we have given women rights out of benevolence. No, rights weren't given. They were won. Women organized, protested, lobbied, marched, starved themselves, chained themselves to railings, got arrested, got beaten, got force-fed and refused to shut up. If feminism were just men being sweethearts, it wouldn't have taken 100 years of fighting to get a ballot paper. And here is the actual kicker. When societies give women equal rights, things improve. Education goes up, domestic violence actually goes down. Health outcomes improve, poverty shrinks, economies grow faster. Every major organization on earth, from the United Nations to the World Bank, backs that. The only people who don't are YouTube commentators who type with one hand while Googling how to talk to women. Rachel was
this is very well articulated, dude. And I there's a noticeable silence in the room.
Because they're paying attention, right?
Yeah. People were paying attention, and it was good points.
It took Rachel 14 minutes to make her point, and you made yours in probably 5 or less.
I think I did it in 6. I didn't want to I didn't want my intro to be very long. You know, I aimed for about 6 minutes with it, and when I practiced, it was about 6 minutes each time. Okay. I did alter it about 20 minutes before the debate. I took a couple of lines out that I didn't like too much and changed some things around. I'm constantly doing that. Before a debate, my intro will be changing up until the point I'm on stage. But yeah,
Craig definitely won the intro. Nicole.
I feel like Rachel just said, I'm going to put as much information out as possible to confuse everybody.
Yeah, and a lot of it just wasn't relevant. Plus, I'm the one wearing a Green Lantern ring and a Pip-Boy watch, so I win by default.
And even if we just separate the delivery was so much better on your part. Yeah, of course, there's room for improvement, but yeah, this is so much
but can
better.
you tell I was probably still drunk?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Rick to Bits for 2499 says the audience is toxic. Rachel's been through a lot, so her brain might be a little broken. And that's the 14 out of 20 super chats. So we need 6 more for me and Yormopt to do a push-up competition live.
Demons, elites, CIA culture warfare, goddess worship, you name it. But here's the truth. Movements with millions of participants over 100 years don't start with a seance. They start with injustice. Feminism didn't appear because a demon whispered it into somebody's ear. It appeared because women were sick of being treated like unpaid labor with no rights and no escape. And look, credit where it's due. Rachel wrote a fantastic book, which is actually a great example of feminism working. A woman publishing, speaking publicly, influencing society, debating ideas on stage. That is feminism in action. She's literally doing the thing that says that she says women shouldn't be doing.
I wish you could see her face in this moment.
Feminist success story.
Yeah, what was it like?
This is fucking like embarrassed.
Yeah, I think she should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Feminism gives us female doctors, astronauts, scientists, prime ministers, Nobel Prize winners, and I mean real ones, like Marie Curie, Toni Morrison, I'll probably pronounce some of these names wrong, Mara Yousafzai, and Tu Youyou. It gave us leaders like Margaret Thatcher, Angela Merkel, Jacinda Ardern, and trailblazers like Katherine Johnson, whose maths put humanity on the moon. And let's be honest, it's also give us wives who roll their eyes at their husbands but still keep us alive. Behind every great man, there is a woman with her arms crossed, waiting for him to finally admit that she was right all along. So Rachel, you can talk about witches, conspiracies, pagan goddesses, shadowy elites, CIA plots, all you like. I will stick to history, evidence, and basic reality. Feminism isn't optional. Equality isn't optional, and women being amazing, capable, brilliant human beings is also not optional. If that bothers you, well, tough. Equality is happening with or without your permission.
Mike, drop. Just saying.
Yep.
That's I was thinking that it is funny that the derpiest parts of her book are not even part of the argument, but they're a big chunk of the book itself.
Yeah.
But she knows it's just full of derp, how the cult of the goddess and the Wiccans and the witches and all of this nonsense. She knows not to bring that up because it's laughable.
Yeah,
I think it's also
I
funny.
really
She's
wanted
like,
her to.
All these rituals, all these magic rituals to change the outcome of things. Isn't that what prayer is?
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
much,
exactly. There's Christianity, specifically Orthodox Christianity, is full of a lot of rituals.
I was raised Catholic, so yes.
Right, so let's go around the panel again. Let's get a mark out of 10. Rubiks, you were there.
10.
Okay, right, straight in there. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any notes?
No, it was very engaging. Kept it to the point.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Max,
Yeah.
you saw this when it was put out
it was
live, and then you did the after show. So what were your thoughts on my intro? And out of 10?
I would say a 7, because you cited some stuff I would have liked to see it. I understand the problems with the logistics of taking a presentation across the Atlantic, but I'm a sucker for presentations. I like it. I think it makes the debate more engaging. It helps retention. It helps cement your points. So
I understand.
And maybe another nitpick, it was a little bit short. She took her full 15 minutes to derp out, and I understand the strategy, but maybe laying it out, if you could have had, your presentation, then that would have maybe taken it up to 8-9 minutes. I think that would have been enough to actually cover the evidence. But other than that, yeah, it was great.
Well, the main reason I didn't. Sorry, go on.
Go. Yeah. The jokes, I think, landed great as a strategy. I think that it's good of a way to disarticulate the animosity just towards your character that they have, which is kind of personal biases at play. So overall, I think it's pretty good.
So appreciate that.
I might be biased in my rating. But.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're in my cult. So the reason I didn't do an actual presentation, I would plan to, and I had started making one, but then I thought, you know what? In February, when I went to New Jersey, I took a presentation. I took ages doing it, and then Andrew just read off his phone, and I thought, well, what's the fucking point? If anyone wants the data and stuff, that I can give it to them, but. Also, I wasn't even sure if they were going to be able to broadcast the presentation, so I just genuinely didn't see the point. But I understand, and I appreciate the criticism. Right, you are mopped. What about you? Thoughts and 10 out of 10?
You get the rating of New Jersey pizza. So,
is New Jersey pizza good?
Pizza's pretty good.
Right,
but
okay.
There's definitely room for improvement.
Okay. So, critique? Do you have any critiques?
That's all I got.
No?
No, you could I like it. I like the way you mixed in jokes. And I think you could have responded or adapted it to a little you went second, so maybe you could have adapted it to her intro, and I know you wrote this ahead of time, but maybe you could have responded to some of the things she said a little bit more. But I did also like that you didn't look down the entire time.
I tried not to, but
yeah,
it is very hard. I mean, what's the alternative? How would you do it if you were on stage?
Well, I would do it terribly. I suck. This is not my forte.
Okay, how would you like to see it done?
I would I know there are people who do this very well. I'm not one of them, but they just I don't know, somehow magically look straight at the audience and they speak slower and they just address the audience more directly, because you have to remember you're in front of a live audience. This is different from doing it online.
It's hard. It's daunting, definitely.
Definitely.
Right. I think I did all right. I liked my intro. I liked the way it came across. Maybe I could have expanded it a little bit and included a bit more data points just in even what I was saying. But I was aware of the audience I was talking to, who would ignore, very much like flat earthers, just ignore everything I say and just go, yeah, but Rachel Wilson. So, was there really any point? My main aim in the debate was to win over the audience in any way that I could. Because I think that's the way you win a debate. Unless it's like an actual professional debate with points and stuff, This isn't really even a debate. It's just a conversation on stage. And I think the way to win that is to win over the audience. And it was, I had a couple of rows of, a few people there for me and stuff, but it was all her crowd. Every single person there was basically there for Rachel Wilson. So it was a hostile crowd full of people that don't really like me. Well, I'd soften them up a bit during the weekend, but because they laughed at me and they didn't boo me, and I feel like that for me is a win. Plus, everything Rachel said was fucking stupid.
And she said so much information, I think partially just confused the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's going to fact check the things
100%.
she's saying. And if you take what she's saying kind of at face value, it sounds, oh, look at all these statistics that suggest feminism hasn't helped, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually pay attention, it's all very tenuously linked. There's no correlation between any of the things that she's saying.
Like what she said, what she lays out to the lay person who's not really paying attention, who's not going back and fact checking, sounds really good for her side.
Yeah, exactly.
No, short and sweet, dude. That was one of the best things about your intro.
I enjoyed it. Right, we've got 58 minutes left on the timer. And that's when the stream will end. Also, if I don't get through this entire thing, there will be a part 2. Probably, what day are we on? It's Wednesday night, so Thursday night.
Today's Wednesday
All right,
in the US.
I could do another one of these Friday tomorrow. In fact, I'll just announce this quickly. Tomorrow, live on FTFE at 11 p.m. UK time, FTFE versus the one, the only Som. He's back.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Sov?
No, not Sov.
It's
Som.
Thanksgiving. The Americans won't be here. Be there.
But Som will.
What, 11 p.m. UK
That's a
time?
guy. He's from Africa.
At 6 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern.
Right,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's 5 hours Eastern, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. People will turn up anyway. Don't worry. But
I'll be there.
Yeah,
My family has Thanksgiving dinner at 2:00 in the afternoon. I don't know why.
Oh well. Yeah, Som is here, and he wants to argue gravity.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be delightful. Have you not seen Som before you're mocked?
Yes.
Are you saying Sob or
No,
Som?
Som. S-O-M.
Who the hell is that?
Someone be a dear
They're
and
big
send your
Some
mocked
guy.
a link to one of the several debates that either me or Toon have had with Som. They are delightful. The one that broke my brain, actually, was the beginning of my origin story.
Oh, an arc is not a line guy. Is that right? Ragebot?
I think, yes, that's the one. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah. Also, the Earth can't be a globe because, there's valleys.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Looking forward to that. I should be back from Thanksgiving dinner. Cool.
Thank you very much for that opening as well. We'll jump right into.
No applause.
I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to our friends at Maine First Project for sponsoring.
Anyone else think that
So
sponsor is kind of a
happening.
whiny
So
man-child over the liberals?
Yeah, he was
He's
a
like
bit
Faking
intense.
tears over the liberals.
I know.
I
Oh my
love-
God,
I
though.
loved it whenever he came on screen. I was like, "Yeah, we're fighting against the evil communists." I was like, "Oh, that is just amazing."
Like the guy,
All right,
he
can I
was
be
very
contr-
passionate about his stuff, but he did keep bringing me drinks. Well, it was an open bar, but he just kept finding me and handing me like shots of tequila and stuff.
Can I be controversial for a minute?
No. Yeah, of course you can.
Who do you think Will Duffy is rooting for here?
He doesn't have a
Again, of
position,
course.
right? So I will read to you what he said to me.
Okay.
I'm sure he won't mind.
What do you link me, Ragebot?
The something.
So
okay, yeah, thank you.
after the debate, I saw him look at me and he gave me a thumbs up, and I messaged him. Well, I was like, I think I did okay, and he was like, yeah. I was like, well, thank you. He's like, it is a tough issue. I'm not sure where I stand, but my daughter is definitely with you.
Okay. All right,
Good.
fair enough. I'll take him for his word. Yeah.
His daughter was lovely, by the way.
Mhm.
Much
She-
more
yeah,
like
so for those who don't know, Will brought his son and daughter with him on this trip.
Yeah, very friendly, lovely people.
Yeah, Will's great.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but he may be coming around on the creationism thing, and I genuinely think if we break him on the creationism thing, he might leave religion.
Craig.
I have family members who are religious. I will not hold it against him. I think he's an okay dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he took me out for a very nice meal. It was amazing to meet him.
Check out their link in the description box below.
So, Craig, with whose permission is this equality happening?
Humanities.
Humanities. Okay, so
Like,
when
who?
you said that.
Who did she think I meant? Like, who else is there to give them permission? Right?
Well, yes, men had to vote to give women the right to vote initially in the U.S. Humanity has continued that right and not taken it away.
But why did men do that vote? Because the women fucking demanded it.
Yes,
and didn't shut up until they
exactly.
got it, right?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, man.
Like, I linked in the chat a letter that Abigail Adams wrote to John Adams saying, think of the women, we want to vote. And John Adams like, no, you don't need to vote, you're a woman.
Yeah.
It's in the side chat over there. But to say that women didn't want to vote denies the history.
Yeah, women did want to vote.
Even in 1776.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they fought for feminism and women's rights, is because they wanted the vote.
Women were granted rights by society. You mean men?
At the time, men were the one that were in charge of society, but that's what women fought for. Women starved themselves, chained themselves to railings, allowed themselves to be beaten just so that they could have the rights that men have. Yes, of course, because men were the ones that ran society. We had to agree, okay, maybe we should give women rights. And that is a fact that nobody can deny. Men were in charge, mostly have been, not every society in history, but the majority of them. And we had to allow women to have the rights, but they fought for that and they deserve what they fought for.
Well, first of all, it was just a very small handful of crazy terrorist women who did, like you said, they starved themselves, but they also bombed federal buildings and bombed storefronts and terror.
That's totally unfair,
Yeah,
because they're not the same thing, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry to tell you, Raquel, no
Raquel.
right has ever been conquered by asking pretty please. Sometimes you do have to do stuff.
Yeah. Like, in America, you fought for your independence, and the acts that the Americans did were considered terrorism.
Yeah.
At the time, you know?
The people that in protest self-immolate, or when they go on hunger strikes, or when they chain themselves to buildings and so on, all of that could be considered terrorism in some way or another.
Yeah.
But the point is that you don't just conquer rights by crying and begging. Sometimes you have to take action, and there is less room in today's world for violent protests, for sure. But now we have social media. Now we can, for example, gather and march and sing songs, and it can also have the same effect as, a bomb in 200 years ago.
Your mop for $5 says, stop super chatting, people. Yes, I don't know why he's doing that. He wants to lose live. That's 15 out of 20. We have 51 minutes. If we get another 5 super chats in the next 50 minutes, then me and You Are Mopped have to do a live push-up competition. He did agree. He signed a contract. So, yeah.
Don Carnage says they bombed stuff, so they knew how to build shit with tools and tech.
I know, amazing, right? Like, I don't understand this whole force. Women couldn't build things. Are you telling me a woman couldn't mine some ore? Like, you're telling me a woman can't pick up a pickaxe, and then, maybe it will take a little longer for a woman to mine that ore than it would a man, right? But once she's done, her and a group of others that have mined that ore can then, smelt it with fire and make that ore into ingots, and then you can use those ingots to make. I've been playing too much Satisfactory.
The argument, one of the arguments she said was like, can women lift an engine? And I don't know how you missed that. But the answer was like, no, and men can't either. Men,
Yeah.
you know what they use? They use fucking cranes.
Exactly.
They have devices. They hang the engine, and then they pull a little lever, and the engine goes up, and you move it around because it has wheels. So, yeah, can women move an engine? No, neither can men.
That was my
That's why
entire
we build
argument.
Tools.
That was my entire argument, is that there's tools. Men and women have the same tools. They can both use the same fucking tools.
We may be jumping the gun here, but there was also another argument, and I hate when they do this stupid bullshit. She asked you, what if all men suddenly disappeared? It's like, how would women go about their stuff? It's like, well,
Thanos?
number one, why should I answer such a stupid hypothetical? It's like, lady, if all men disappear, then the focus would be on how do we keep going without the other half of the reproductive system. That would be the focus, not if we can actually mine or if we can build cranes or whatever the fuck. The focus would be another one. So the hypothetical had two asinine conditions, like all men die, and then all weapons and all technology fails at the same time. It's like, why would I even answer that? It's just ridiculously stupid.
It's really dumb. So what I'm doing for my video is, like, when she said about lifting engines and that, I've found a local place that does car stuff, broom broom engines, and a woman works there, and she does the mechanic stuff. So I'm gonna go and like interview her and like record her changing an engine or something and put it in my video and be like, oh shit, look at the woman doing the thing.
My counter argument in the after show was one of the most cutthroat sports, which is Formula One, has women mechanics and engineers. So yeah, women can play in the same playing field as men, no problem. And it's not like Formula One is kind of big on DEI. In Formula One, if you don't perform, you're out. They have replaced drivers within one or two races of 2 or 3 races of their debut because they weren't just performing. They don't accommodate low performance. If you don't perform in Formula One, you're out. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is my biggest issue with this whole debate, Craig and Max. You're both falling into the trap. This debate is not about can women do all the jobs men can do. It's about what's feminism good for society.
But
and
that's
you
what
guys,
Rachel made it about.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you fell for the trap. That is my biggest criticism, is that you spend way too much time trying to defend women and their ability to do everything men can do when that is not the topic of the debate. So continue on, but that's what's about to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
but
no, you're right.
Not, she didn't want to talk about anything else. She made it about can women do this, can women do that.
And Craig. Yeah.
Well, the way that she phrased it is that feminism is bad for society because it's just a lie. And it's lied to people because this is just how it is and we can't change that. So she made it about, the things that women can't do. Because that was her whole thing, is that,
right,
well,
and you should have called her out on that and said that's not the topic of this debate.
But for her it was, because that means that it was bad for society, because it's now made women try and do things that they can't really do, which is overall, she thinks that this is, I get what you're saying, right? I understand and I agree with you. But in Rachel's mind, this is the topic of the debate because this backs up her point of feminism being bad for society. Even though, like I said in her intro, the whole thing is a massive red herring. And I should have called her out a bit more.
Absolutely.
But I did want to poke her argument a bit, because the whole forced doctrine theory is her entire, and Jake and Jim Bob and Andrew, it's their entire thing about feminism. That is how they phrase it. So when I'm speaking to her and any of the crew, you kind of have to have that conversation because that's the crux of their argument.
Yeah, big fish. Yeah, big fish. It's an example of what did he say? An example of how many debates get derailed. Yeah, including Flat Earth.
Yeah, it is. You're right. But that's why these aren't really debates. These are just conversations.
It's a legit debate. It's a legit argument. I just think that wasn't the topic of this debate, and you let her derail you.
I agree, but I did consider just pushing back against it, right? Because I knew she was going to do that, but because that's her entire point, she would just have kept coming back to it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're one-trick ponies, like Andrew Wilson. I think there was a moment in which Daniel actually countered Andrew Wilson's argument and tried to move the conversation forward, and they're just like scratch records. They skip back to the same thing over and over and over and over, and they just go back. And you can refute, like this happened with me and Jim Bob. I refuted his silly hypothetical like 4 different ways, and he just kept for an hour coming back to the same shit, explaining. But you didn't answer my question. Like, I unraveled your whole hypothetical, and you're just too dumb to realize, or too dishonest to realize that that argument is done, and kept coming back to the same thing over and over until I said, like, he's not going to talk about anything else. We can just go to the Q&A because I'm bored.
Yeah, and that is a good way to handle it. And I think Dr. Carrier called out Andrew doing the same thing. He was just, I think he literally said, "Oh, I see what you're doing. You're making this about X, while this is really about Y or Z."
Yeah.
And I think you would have won a few points if you would have called her out on that.
Okay, I accept that. I hope to get another debate with her about it, and I certainly will push her more on just why it's actually been good for society and not all these ridiculous talking points, because that isn't
like Max
really
said,
the debate.
Red herring, yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's why I said in the opening, it is a red herring. Non sequiturs
Yeah.
and red herrings is all it is. Yeah. I appreciate the constructive criticism. I will take that into account for the next time that I debate one of these people about feminism. The Iron Code of Dress for £2 says, "Tell this to women in the UK mines pre-1842." Yeah, some women were certainly in the mines. I mean, no one's ever denying that some women did those jobs back then. Mainly they were probably forced to be honest.
People, and this was a tiny minority. You said that it's not true that most women didn't want the vote and that they came out in huge numbers as soon as they got it. That's actually not true. In both the UK and the United States, only a tiny minority of women actually went to the polls until the 1960s. So they had the vote for like 40 years before most of them used it. And as I stated in my opening,
this is also a non sequitur, but okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of barriers still, and some of them may not have been allowed by their husbands to go out.
Yeah. Plus, I didn't say that all women turned up, or even the majority. I said they turned up in large numbers. They did. As soon as they had the ability to vote, women turned up in huge numbers to vote.
Whether or not women wanted to vote is a complete non sequitur to whether feminism was good for society. This has nothing to do with the actual topic at hand.
Yeah, the comments in the video say, "Oh, women voted for this particular candidate who is liberal, so we know it's not good that women are voting because they're voting in people I don't like."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's obvious. It's like, okay, when you are part of a marginalized group, you tend not to want to marginalize other people because you know how it feels.
No, but the difference is subtle. The difference is whether women wanted to vote or whether they should be able to vote. And
exactly,
she's making it about whether they wanted to vote or not. And I think that is totally, I don't know if it's dishonest or not, but it is definitely a non sequitur.
Yeah, but again, to play devil's advocate on her side for a sec, in her mind, the fact that, well, women never really wanted to vote, yet we forced the rights upon them to give them the vote, and now they vote when they really shouldn't do it, it all leads to her argument in her mind. It's really bad, but in her mind, it's connected.
VOD, yeah, not a tiny minority. What did you say? And also irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
in the referendums on whether women wanted the vote, only like in Massachusetts, they had a statewide referendum on this in the early 1900s. Only about 4% of women who even bothered to show up said they wanted the vote. That doesn't sound like a majority to me. That doesn't sound like a grassroots movement of women who just demanded these changes. That sounds to me like an astroturfed top-down thing. But that aside, again, if men granted women the rights, doesn't sound like they were this evil patriarchy just hoping to keep their boot on women's necks and hold them down. It could
They had no choice, dumbass.
Yeah. Men granted women the rights because the women fucking demanded it. They fought for it.
Emma, stop.
Emma says for €2, ignore my super chats. I'm just working on the goal. Let's have a look. We have 17 out of 20 super chats. We have 39 minutes left.
Run.
If we get 3 super chats in the next 39 minutes, then me and you are mopped. We'll do a push-up competition to see who can do the most in a row. With the military, the Royal Marines military push-up timing. So it'll be telling us when to go up and down. Yeah. But bear in mind also, I've done a chest and arms day today. And your mopped has disappeared.
Running away.
Emma, such a cunt, sends another €2. Thank you very much.
Could be that there were good reasons for things being the way they were for all of human history up until 100 years ago.
One more. Thank you. You, Emma, you're just such a massive cunt. You know that, right?
But a lovable one.
So what you're going to find is...
And Calvin Furry 1906 hits the goal for $2. Thank you very much. And your mopped is disappeared. Boston concerts for $2. I win. What do you win? You win my thanks.
Oh no.
It's done, dude.
So she lied in a very egregious way, right?
Yeah.
Because she said that throughout all of human history, it was patriarchal, and she's wrong. Because there were matriarchal societies spread all around the world. They didn't last because, I mean, men later sieged power through religion and coercion and so on. But the fact that something happened in time for a long time gives you nothing about whether that thing is better or worse. That is just another like stupid argument. This is just Flerf argumentation levels.
It's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, and she gets 5 dings on the lie counter for that.
Ding, 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 ding. Right.
Yep. Is that all of these arguments against feminism rely on framing.
Right. Okay. So what we're going to do is then we're gonna stop it at 2 hours today because we already met the goal. Right. So we're gonna go for 10 more minutes, see what we can get through, and then we'll come back on Friday and do some more before Star Trek. So in 10 minutes time, we'll finish the show with me and you are mop doing a push-up competition.
All right. Before we start that, in about 1 hour after we end this, Isa and I are reviewing the second debate between Junior and Apostate Prophet. And if you think this is bad, you have no clue what's coming up on that debate.
We talked to Apostate.
The previous one, and Junior is just...
He's awful.
Completely ignorant of what a debate even is. He just went there to trauma dump and have like a free group therapy session. So be sure to...
It was like at the beginning of the debate with Apostate Prophet, he's like, I'm not even going to try defending Islam. And I'm like, oh, isn't that what you're there for?
It's like, okay.
Oh, warming up and everything. Yeah. Rachbot's got to go soon. Oh, I miss you.
They rely on the fallacy of...
Emma says, crush him, Craig. Thank you very much.
Presentism, which is where we look back at history with our present eyes and our present ideals and judge it, which is not accurate. It's actually a logical fallacy to do that. So when Craig
she
says
does
things like,
that.
oh, women couldn't have their own bank accounts or their own credit cards, do you guys think there could be a practical reason for this, or was it just men are mean and they don't want women to have money? In fact, there was a practical reason. And when he talks about laws being unequal during this time, he's right, because men were held to the standard of maintaining their families and supporting them. These laws were called breadwinner laws, which were Men could go to jail if they deserted their families or didn't support them, and only men could be held liable for debt.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with whether feminism is good or bad for society?
Thank you. I was going to say exactly that. Again, it has nothing to do with the topic.
No, that's just, how it...
She's just reciting things that she said in her book, but it's not actually the topic at hand.
So, like...
The topic of her book, guys, by the way, is whether it's an argument that feminism wasn't a grassroots movement and that there was nefarious means that made it happen. It has nothing to do with whether it was good or bad for society, just like her entire argument here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a collection of derp. And it's just like the CIA, witches, and all of these things working against our perfect Christianity world that we think everyone should live under. Yeah, it's so derpy, and I haven't finished reading it yet. That's why
it's hard to get through.
Do
it really
this
is.
Review later. Yeah, it's so boring and dull.
The first time was an audiobook. I had it on in the background, but I kept zoning out because I was like, she just quotes a bunch of stuff so often with no context. It's quite hard.
And very little citations.
Yeah. Laura says in 1893, 80% of women in New Zealand enrolled to vote. Interesting. I will check that one up because that could be good for my video.
So the way it worked was, maybe you couldn't have a credit card in your own name as a woman because you usually weren't employed. You had someone taking care of you and paying your bills. So you could get...
Right, yeah, no, I was going to say, so the breadwinner laws and that they were in place because, well, that's how it was. The men were the ones in charge. And the breadwinner laws were put in place so that they were made to look after them because that's how society was. But that doesn't mean that all the women were happy with that. Maybe the women wanted to go and work and get extra money and stuff instead of having to rely on their husbands. Maybe even though the husband was the breadwinner, there wasn't really that much money coming in because it's just one person working and maybe they weren't that skilled or something. What's wrong with having the woman go to work sometimes, especially when the children are old? Once the children are like 10 or something, they're coming from school, there could be a couple of hours where they're at home watching TV or something, right? That's how it's always been, at least since I was a kid. I'd get home from school.
So if you have someone in the household who can't work, and then you kind of have to legislate so that the other person is forced to take care of, because what situation would that be? Like the woman can't work, and then the husband is also able to just neglect her. That would just be a shit show.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
But it wasn't out of the kindness of men.
No.
That happened.
It was that society, and let's put in place laws to stop the women suffering because of that.
Yeah.
And then women were like, you know what? Let's have the rights to go to work our fucking selves.
On your husband's account at the department store or the grocery store and spend his money. You could run up the debt, but they couldn't hold you legally liable for it. He had to pay the bill. Sounds like a pretty good deal. I'd take that. So...
Right, okay, so because you want someone else to be a pay pig for you, therefore feminism bad?
Yes.
Yeah, and that is very close to prostitution. Just excuse my French.
Yeah,
you're
kind of.
Just getting paid for sex, and like at that point, you're a sex slave. Who the fuck would want that?
Yeah.
You don't have a cage. You can surely maybe you get your own little credit card and you can buy a dress every once in a while or a pair of shoes and whatever. But what's the difference between that and prostitution? Nothing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've made enough money in the past 5 years that my wife hasn't really had to work, right? However, we really want to get a mortgage and stuff and stop renting and everything. So Emma's considering going back to work, and so we can make a lot of money and get a mortgage quicker. And isn't that what it's about? I gave Emma the option to stop working. But in the same way, if something had happened and Emma become a big YouTuber making loads of money, she would have probably said, "You can stop working."
Right.
That's not because I'm a man and she's a woman. that's just because something happened and it meant that one person could kind of focus on doing something else and looking after the house and the family, you know. And I wanted to treat her and you know, thank her for looking after me for the past 22 years that we've been together, you know.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to a couple, there are some things in which it's good to keep individuality and so on. Like if you have your hobby that you like and you can do things separate. But when it comes to the monetary aspect, it's our income. It's our money.
Yeah.
Right? It's not why people still think that, oh, it's his money, it's her money. Well, I mean, if you're living together, it's both of your monies.
Exactly. Right. What we're going to do is stop that there because it's quite hard to take the Rachel Derp all at once.
Yes.
And we are going to, tomorrow I'll be debating some. And then Friday I will do some more of this and try and get it finished before Star Trek. If not, we do some more on Saturday. My son's birthday on Saturday. Blown out, he's 17. Jesus Christ. Wowzers. That's quite crazy. So I will be doing a stream after I'm back for taking my son out for a meal. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight and listening to us try to cope with Rachel Wilson's awful argumentation and introduction. But something needs to happen right now. First off, I want to thank Max. I want to thank Yormot. I want to thank Emily. But secondly, me and Yormot have got some business, don't we?
We do, and I challenge you, so you decide who goes first.
Well, could we do it at the same time?
I'll go get ready for my next stream. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll
right, thank you, Max.
In about an hour. This was fun. If you let me know when you're finishing the review, and
most likely Friday.
All right, I'm not working Friday, so.
Groovy, dude. Well,
all right, thank you, everyone.
Love you, Max.
Love you all. Bye.
Pick Roy, with today's economy, the nuclear family wouldn't even survive in a majority of cases. Living's become too expensive. Her funnily fantasy would doom many. Yep, you're not wrong. All right, I think as you challenged me, you should probably go first so I can see what I've got to beat.
I figured. Okay. Let's see.
Press up test.
What do you think, chat? How many
Adopt
do you think I have
the press up position with your knees rested now.
All right, we'll let you get in the press up position.
Solid. Oh boy.
He's going to smoke me now.
Hold up. Give me half a minute.
I've already done, 150 today, plus my bench press, plus my flies, plus my bicep curls, plus my hammer curls, plus my overheads, and my pull downs. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I should be able to do more than 30.
Right, let's go then. Get in the press up position.
All right.
Go. 1,
knees away.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, good form, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, come on, 33, 33, not bad, that's really good form as well, quite impressive.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it. Thank you.
You kept your core engaged the whole time.
Yes.
You did the full press up because your shoulder blades retracted all the way. So that was pretty good. Right, so 33 to beat. Oh, 33. Of course it is. Right.
I want to see some military quality push-ups here, Craig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, one more for the 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Squeeze, 40. All right.
Did 40.
Well done, homie. Impressive. Impressive. Good job. I had a feeling. I bit off more than I could chew.
Well, that's what doing like a couple hundred push-ups a day does.
Yeah, that's great.
I was worried because I've had an issue with my rotator cuff.
Well, maybe we'll have a. Well, I know you've got an operation coming up, but maybe we could do we could do a rematch down the road.
Yeah, well, I only have one leg to help me then, so maybe.
Yeah, you have less weight. I think, does that help you or hurt you?
I'm not sure, really. Well, that was fun. Oh, and thank you, Rubiks, for coming as well, and thank you, Yormalt. Yeah, back for Friday for more, all right?
Yep.
Speak to you guys later. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone in chat.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, tomorrow is a debate with Som, so see you then. Bye.
Yes, you're right.
Right, guys. Tomorrow we will have a debate with Som. Friday we will finish this dumpster fire with Rachel Wilson. So until then, I want to say thank you. I love you all. You mean the world to me. The support you give me means the absolute world. Share the stream with your friends, with your enemies, with your family. It's the best way to help the channel. The algorithm's mad at me because I've changed things I'm doing. So let's bump those numbers back up. But thanks for the support. It means the world. I love you, and I will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, remember that stupidity is not a right. Fight Flat Earth. Whew.